guys, it's Teacher Mary. I've got a story that I really like to share with you today, and it is from Exodus in the Old Testament. It is a time when God was bringing his people out of the land of slavery in Egypt, and they were heading for the promised land. Moses was leading them, and it was a lot of people traveling, and they had a lot of problems along the way, but God provided for them. And our Bible verse is, God cares about you. 1 Peter 5:7. So let's say that one together. God cares about you. 1 Peter 5:7. And one more time, God cares about you. So in this story, God gave food and water to his people while they were traveling in the desert. So we have got a whole lot of people, and they are traveling a long ways, and it is hot. And you're going to maybe have to think back to summertime to remember what it's like to be hot outside. But they had a long way to go. And you remember we've talked about ways that they traveled in Bible times. Did they go in their car, on airplane, train, bus? Nope, they walked. So we have got lots of people and lots of feet walking. And maybe you remember if you've been outside all day, on a hot day, one of the first things you decide is that you are thirsty. And they were thirsty. But they came to a creek, which made them really excited. They got down on their hands and knees, got themselves something to drink. But they found out that the water tastes yuck. So they complained to Moses, said, "Ick, we can't drink this." So Moses went straight to the Lord and said, "Help, Lord, what do we do now?" And the Lord showed Moses a log and told him to throw it into the creek. And as soon as Moses did that, the water in the creek was sweet and delicious and just what the people needed. So they took their fill of good, fresh, clean water and kept walking. But pretty soon, there were lots of noises coming from their tummies, because their tummies were grumbling, because they were hungry, really hungry. So they complained to Moses about that. And Moses went right back to the Lord saying, "Help, Lord." And the Lord came back with the solution to that problem as well. And what he did was he promised them that every night when they stopped walking, he would send them a wonderful meal to cook. A whole flock of birds would come in, and all they had to do was cook it up to have a delicious dinner. And in the morning when they get up every single day, they would have something all over the ground that they could pick up and eat, and they called it manna. It looked a little bit like popcorn. So that's what they did. At night, they cooked up a meal of the birds that God sent them, and in the morning, they got up and they gathered the manna. And they had plenty to eat every single day while they were traveling. But there were a few people in the batch who didn't really trust God. God told them, "Just take as much as you need every day, because I will provide for you every day." But a few people didn't listen to Moses, who gave them those directions from God, and they gathered more manna than they needed, because they didn't quite trust that God would be ready for them tomorrow and give them more. But when they took a look at it, they said, "Yuck!" What they found in their baskets was not that fresh, delicious manna anymore, but it was full of maggots, and it had begun to smell. Maggots are little wormy larva guys that you do not eat. So they had to learn to trust God. And sometimes I have trouble trusting God myself. And if I have trouble, I try to remember, maggots and smell. God's going to take care of me every day. So let's review together. Remember our Bible verse, God cares about you. We've got lots of people. And how are they traveling? By foot. And pretty soon they realize on a hot day they are thirsty. But when they take a drink out of the creek, they say, ick. So God asks the Lord to help, and the Lord does. And he sends good water for them, but then they realize they are grumble, grumble, hungry. Oh, there's that good water. Pretty soon they're grumble, grumble, hungry. And they tell Moses that. So God takes care of that as well and sends them a meal every night and a meal every morning. But they only need to take as much as they need, because every day he's going to give them what they need. And if they don't trust him and take too much, they are reminded by maggots and smell. So I hope you enjoy coloring in the pages that go along with this. You color them any way you want.